You see them all over TV. You see them in magazines.
Sometimes I think that is what the media makes us want to care about.
We're not so different, you and me, 'cause we both share our share of obscenities, and everybody's got some freaky tendencies.
I think it's advertised towards men mainly as an icon of what we should look for in women rather than a personality or anything else.
It's important as far as appearance.
It's a very sexual thing. Men love breasts.
They're definitely something to look at. I'm looking at your face though right now. I want you to be aware of that.
It's the first thing they want to do is put their hands on them.
The idea of the breast has such weight in our culture.
If it's threatened, it's totally a frightening thought.
Go.
My name is Ann Hogan. I'm a 7-year breast cancer survivor and a volunteer at the Adelphi Breast Cancer Hotline.
I found it and I went for a lumpectomy, and they felt they had removed everything, and I went back to the doctor for a checkup, only to find out that she felt that it was so marginal and so close that she recommended a mastectomy.
I went for a routine, exam, and he checks my breasts. I sit up and he goes, "Well, I'm going to tell you to go see the surgeon because I found a lump on your left breast." I mean, bedside manner could not have been worse.
My mother had breast cancer, died when many years ago. I was 14 years old. And my father had 2 sisters that also had breast cancer. So there was that little piece of breast cancer in the back of my mind. But I went from the time I was 35 religiously every year, the same time to the same radiologist to make sure that everything was okay. And then the year I was turning 50, an irregular mammogram came back.
You're stunned like a deer in the headlights. Like, what did you say? I mean, and then I have to get in the car and drive home, and you're thinking the worst. You never think, oh, this is nothing. It's gonna just disappear. Especially with my family history, you're sitting there saying, I could have breast cancer and I could die.
Well, I think there are a lot of different things that happen when you're first diagnosed and you're overwhelmed, and then you're looking for information and you're trying to get the proper medical treatment. And then you go through your treatment phase and you're busy with your doctor's appointments, and you may be working and you may not, and you're talking to other people about it. What we find is that a lot of women, after they finish treatment, is when their anxiety kicks in the most.
Post-treatment can be a very difficult period. Women begin to experience feelings of depression, of anxiety. How am I ever going to get my life back? I'm a whole different person. This experience has changed me, and how do I deal with who I am now?
The family had been there, but now the family is going, oh, you're okay. But inside, you're not, because you know that cancer can always come back.
It was very hard on my kids. My son was young at the time. I don't think he understood it. He's only 17 now. My daughter, who's 2 years older than him, was about 15 at the time. It was very, very hard on her. She was very depressed. She was an honor roll student. Her grades fell.
Look for changes in behavior, particularly in teenagers. Are they staying out later? Are their grades dropping? Are their friends people that you don't know? Does it look like they're in some way using alcohol or drugs?
For a woman, the breast is a very intimate part of her body. So breast cancer is a very intimate cancer for women. And more women are concerned about breast cancer, even though there are other diseases that are more prevalent among women, like heart disease, because it is such an intimate cancer.
The loss of a breast, the disfigurement that can accompany it, is very traumatic for the woman, not only for the woman, but for her husband as well. It affects how their relationship is, their intimate relationship. Men very often talk about they're afraid to touch their wives. They don't know how to resume intimacy, and women are always concerned about, is my husband or my boyfriend still going to feel the same way about me? I think what has been a major step has been that many women today opt for reconstruction at the time of surgery.
Usually we do this immediately at the same setting. So my role in that is advising my patients, and it's pretty much done with a plastic surgeon, so it's a concerted effort. So I help the plastic surgeon with the reconstruction, and she's there during the time that I'm doing the mastectomy as well.
It was called a tram flap procedure, and what they actually do, they cut you from hip to hip, take your stomach muscle and rebuild a breast.
You would have to ask John, but I think he did not want to see me go through that. He did not want to see me lose a breast. He would probably agree that I would have breast augmentation if that was the case, but he didn't want to see me go through the pain either. That's a difficult situation when you find you have breast cancer. First you have to remove a breast or a lumpectomy, then you have to go through radiation and chemotherapy. Nobody wishes that on anybody.
Across the United States, in most developed countries, the death rate has been steadily going down.
We feel very, very strongly that women should have a mammography screening starting at age 35 for a baseline to 40, and then every year after.
Unfortunately, we see a lot of patients with breast cancer in general, and we diagnose a lot of women under 50, which I consider to be young. Some unfortunately are diagnosed with their baseline mammogram even at 40 or even at 35. So we do see a lot more younger people these days.
Fortunately, so far, the government has said that under Medicare and Medicaid, they will continue to pay for screening mammographies. And I think it's going to be, the women are going to have to rally around again and fight the fight all over again about this is something we need and are entitled to, and we need to continue to have it. You don't have to be on your own to do this. It's not necessary to feel isolated or lonely or ashamed.
My advice is that you don't have to go through it alone. You can reach out to other women and programs such as ours that provide services so that you can get information, you can get support.
Well, it is not a death sentence. There is so much being done now in treatment and in aftercare that women are living longer and longer.
I definitely encourage all women to have their screening testing done and see their doctors on a regular basis so that if there is any abnormality, it is found early, and then prognosis is much better.
Find a good doctor, someone that listens to you, that's empathetic, very, that would not treat you as if you were just another person through the door.
Try to keep a positive attitude. It's devastating. It's okay to feel sorry for yourself. It's okay to cry. No one deserves this. God didn't deem it upon us because we deserve to get this. We don't deserve to get this. We deserve to live a good life, a healthy life.
Life can show no mercy, it can tear your soul apart. It can make you feel like you're gone crazy, but you're not. And things have seemed to change. There's one thing that's still the same. In my heart you have remained, and we can fly, fly, fly away. 'Cause you are not alone, and I am there with you, and we'll get lost together until the light pouring through. 'Cause when you feel like you're done and the darkness has won, babe, you're not lost. I said, baby, you're not lost. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I said, baby, you're not lost.